Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Good day, everybody. This is Austin Linney with Construct Your Life. What we decided to do on Wednesdays was do a 10 to 15 to 20 minute kind of talk with just me and the mic. I'm going to share some ideas, kind of what I'm feeling. We're going to try to keep this episode as up to date as possible so we can talk about what's going on in the world and so on. But first of all, I just want to tell you, everybody that has sent me messages, everybody that has reviewed the podcast with the kindest of words, it means everything. This is a labor of love. It's a lot of work. Thank goodness for Chris, my producer. I'm sure we'll come up with a fancy name for this segment. As I'm recording this, we haven't yet. I just got done with a workout. My goal with this podcast is to be authentic as possible. I don't want to be like everybody else. I just want to be me. So when I have an opinion during an interview, or I have an opinion on my Wednesday rants, whatever you want to call it, it's just mine. I have no idea how it's going to land for you. As I'm recording this, I literally have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm just going to talk and just share you where I'm at with my journey. And then you can kind of grow with me and so on and so on. And I want everybody to know when I do the interviews, I have no questions planned. A lot of time I don't even do a lot of research on the guest unless I know them for a lot, because I just want to keep it as authentic and fresh as possible. And that's the feedback I keep getting. So I'm just going to keep doing what I do. I'm sweaty. I'm in my apartment. It doesn't matter, guys. I'm just here trying to provide value for y'all, trying to give you a leg up, a change of perspective. Anything I can do to help. So, that being said, let's dig into it. I think that I was thinking about it when I was working out. Life is a choice. Every day that we wake up is a choice how we show up. We show up to work. We show up in our relationships. We show up for ourselves. And I think a lot of people out there are putting context on how they need to show up to other people, right? You show up to a party, you show up to work, and you're acting the way that your boss thinks that you should be acting, or you're doing, instead of living intentionally in your life. And, when you live intentionally in who you are and what you do, there's no expectations on you. There's no parameters. There's no context. And by putting context on everything, you're asking for somebody to think of you a certain way instead of just being you, right? And so I've come to grips with the fact that I don't know how my words are going to land for you. I don't know what it's going to hit a nerve. I don't know if it hits a nerve a year from now or right now or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It just matters that, I'm providing value and giving you perspective in a different avenue. And so, you have to ask yourself, you really have to look at yourself in the mirror right now, especially in this weird time we're living in. Are you negotiating your goals with yourself? Are you making excuses? Are you complaining? Are you playing the victim? Because I don't negotiate my goals with myself. I don't. It's just part of who I am. I've made a decision. This is what I'm going to do. You signed up for 3 Ironmans. There's a lot of days I don't want to train at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. There's a lot of days I don't want to do a 70-mile ride, but I don't negotiate my goals. So by keeping the promises to myself, I can make sure that I am living in congruent with who I am, right? And I'm not always perfect. There's many days I don't want to do it. I have massive limiting beliefs on this podcast. Why am I even doing it? Who do you have anything to say? So on and so on. But I'm going to continue to show up every day. I'm going to live in intention, and I'm just going to be me. And I hope that's good enough for everybody else. But it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, because if I can lay my head down on the pillow and know that I did what I needed to do for my employees, my business partners, the relationships around me, and that's something I'm working on day by day. It's very hard to be a leader. It's very hard to see the big picture, but also manage the nuts and bolts of the business. I've had so many failures in business. I can't even count. But I keep getting up. I keep getting on the mat. I keep making a decision to go out and keep trying, because My favorite quote right now is, I'm married to the results. I'm married to the process. Pardon me. There we go. Messed that one up. I'm married to the process, divorced from the results. And it's so true. The Ironman training that I'm doing, the hard workouts, it has nothing to do with the race. Does anybody understand that? It has everything to do with who I become in the process of getting to the race. The race is just the cherry on top. And so when you can fall in love with the grind, you can fall in love with doing the side hustle, right? Or becoming a better version of yourself, that's when the true freedom exists. That's when you can step up. You can say, this is me, faults and all. I had Brad Johnson on, I think it was on last Monday or Friday. Amazing episode. And one of the greatest things, the gift he gave me, was bios are meaningless. Bios are meaningless. It's just who we are. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just a record of what we've done. But he said, what defines me? How about we talk about what my failures are? How about we talk about what shaped me, right? And my failures have shaped me. My alcoholism, my drug addiction, the rock bottoms, all the rock bottoms that I've had have shaped me into be. Every time you get over that, you step over that hurdle, you ask yourself, what else can I do? Well, I can do anything. And so by having that belief, and that's why I started the podcast. I'm a real estate investor. I'm an entrepreneur. But what people don't understand is they're so quick to read all the books. They're so quick to learn everything that they could possibly learn about multifamily, matrix, spreadsheets, and everything. And they're not understanding that mindset is number one. It's the key. When you have a why that is so great, and you have a need for impact, and you have a need to live in intention, the rest of the stuff figures itself out. Imperfect action equals great results. I mean, it's the truth. You just have to be moving forward. You have to fall forward. If you fall forward and you jump, you make the decision to bet on yourself. That's all life is asking to you. There's only one life. And you have to ask yourself, when you look at yourself in the mirror, if you're honest with yourself, are you living your best life? Life is super simple, guys. The only thing this world asks of you, the only thing that anybody asks of you, is to be the best version of yourself. If you are in a crisis to get to the next best version of yourself every year, every week, every month, then the rest will take care of itself. People are so quick to get pulled in 7 different directions and say yes and no, yes to wrong things. They're bending from external circumstances. They're bending towards, other things that other people want for them. And my question to you is, like, what do you want for yourself? Like, do you sit with yourself? Do you ask yourself what you truly want? Because I believe that goals that people are writing, I believe 70% of them are bullshit. I mean, it's just the truth. It's just how I feel, guys, because you're not living a life of intention. Do you want to be a millionaire because it sounds cool and that's the number one goal that everybody, do you understand the amount of work and team and dedication and obsessed nature, the relentless, just nasty pursuit that you have to get? You're saying you want to be a millionaire. You haven't even made $100,000 yet. Like, how about we start there? How about we fall in love with the process, guys? There is a growth scale. So make 100,000, then make 300,000, then get to 1 million, right? Or are you comfortable with making 250 a year or $100,000 a year, but you ultimately get to spend all the time with your kids you want? You don't have these extra expectations on you. I believe that people create this external, like, the bills get bigger, the house gets bigger, all these things get bigger. And my question to you is, for what? For who? Is it for you? I don't think you need that. I don't need that. If this pandemic, or whatever you want to call it, has taught us anything, is that simple is better. Life is better with less things. And if you haven't seen that, that's on you. And like I said, these are just my opinions. But what I'm asking you to do is take 5 seconds. Sit down, meditate, write your goals as if you were a kid, if you were a teenager. Think about all the things that you dreamed of. Art, creativity, this conversation I'm having right now is not about me. It's just merely a stream of consciousness. I will record this and I probably won't listen to it ever again. But in this moment, this is where I'm living in, and I'm saying that my art is this. I'm speaking. And, it takes a lot out of me to come up here and just pour my heart out. And, I released that episode about all my drug addictions and the failures and everything like that. And I've got a huge response because people are not used to people being that authentic, right? So what you're getting with me is you're getting faults and all. You're getting the scars, the Band-Aids, the bad relationships, the problems with my father, the problems with my mother, so on and so on, because it's not about me. And so all I'm asking, all I'm praying for is that something lands where you say no more. You say no more to that crappy boss. You say no more to that bad relationship that doesn't serve you. You say no more to that negative that toxic relationship, because life is too damn short to be around negative people, to be at a job that you don't like, to not be pouring into yourself fulfillment 100% of the day. I am literally obsessed with life. I'm obsessed with having fun, experiences, travel. I have a relentless pursuit, a primal need to have experiences. It's really the only thing I care about. And all these trips that you're putting off, all these things that you're putting off, these phone calls that you don't make, all these things you say, I'll get to later. Guess what? Later does not come. Aaron Amusastegi said on my podcast, if you write that down, if you plan out your trips, they have to happen. If you buy the tickets, they have to happen. Stop making excuses. Stop. It's enough. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Work harder. Haha, my favorite line. Plan it, do it, say it, make it happen, dude. I mean, literally, there's no trip that I've been on where I go, you know what? I shouldn't have gone on that trip. I really regret it. Dude, you don't know what's happening tomorrow. So wake up, shake the rust off, stare at yourself in the mirror, and do something hard this week. And make small steps. Atomic Habits, one of my favorite books. Make small steps, 1% better every day, guys. Every day. And, I just want to leave you with that. This is me just trying to inspire you, trying to change the narrative that you have to live this way. You don't. You can change it. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was quick. I don't even know how long it was, but if you liked it, rate us, review us, share us, whatever you want to do. It doesn't, I'm just loving the response from the podcast. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody so much. It has been a joy. I feel like I'm in my own little mastermind. Thank you to all the guests. We've got so many more great episodes coming, and I just want to thank y'all so much. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.